Now that we know we are at the stage where Bharat's growth story has just started, let's know more about creating and preserving wealth. In our next session, Create and Preserve Wealth Well. Firstly, we would like to call upon Mr. Hemant Desai, who is promoter, chairman of Concept Investwell. He is someone who is determined, ambitious, and truly believes in putting clients' interests first. He has a rich experience of more than 5 decades, and he is fund manager of our AI Dynamic Plan.
Put your hands together for Mr. Viren Vepari, who is a highly renowned chartered accountant with decades of work experience. He leads Natwar Lal Vepari and Company, a CA firm, and also advises on inbound and outbound investments of India, more particularly in designing international tax structures. He is a man of professional integrity and has trained hundreds of budding CA professionals over the year.
We would also like to invite Mr. Sanjay Punjabi, who is a principal designer at Image and Shape and the founder-president of Thai Surat Forum. He is also group chairman of South Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. His vision is to revive and boost international trade and contribute significantly to the country's vision. Led by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Mr. Sanjay Punjabi will be the moderator for this session. Over to you, sir.
Namaste. So we are in a very short and crisp session about the wealth creation and preservation. Today we started with Navratri, and Navratri that देवी की पूजा होती है, और देवी की पूजा के अंदर मेरा ये मानना है, ये जो वक्त से हम गुजर रहे हैं उस वक्त के अंदर ये देवी का जिक्र करना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. सो वी आर इन अ नॉलेज इकोनॉमी, और ये दौर के अंदर हर लक्ष्मी को सरस्वती की उपासना करनी पड़ेगी और हर सरस्वती को लक्ष्मी की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. सो ये दौर से जब हम गुजर रहे हैं तो वेल्थ क्रिएशन के बारे में कुछ क्वेश्चंस मेरे साथ चेयरमैन ऑफ कंसेप्ट इन्वेस्टवेल से मिस्टर देसाई, हेमंत देसाई हैं, और साथ में 3 पेटियों से नटवरलाल व्यापारी एंड सन्स के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हिरेन व्यापारी जी हैं. सो आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन, वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. दैट क्वेश्चन सेज दैट जब इस दौरान सब बिजनेस इनकम की बात करते हैं, साइड इनकम की बात करते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा इनकम की बात करते हैं, पैसिव इनकम की बात करते हैं, उस दौरान में ये क्रिएटिंग वेल्थ की जो आप बात कर रहे हैं वो कितने हद तक सही है, और उसको आप कैसे एक माध्यम से या तो केस स्टडी से समझाना चाहेंगे?
Good afternoon. I believe that my voice is going properly. अब जो क्रिएशन ऑफ वेल्थ की बात है तो आप सब लोग स्मार्ट पर्सन्स हो, आप स्मार्ट बिजनेसमैन है, स्मार्ट प्रोफेशनल है, आप पैसे अच्छी तरह कमाना जानते हैं. अभी ये जो आप बिजनेस या प्रोफेशन कर रहे हैं उसमें आपको सरप्लस तो होती ही है, तो साथ में आपको क्या करना है? साथ में आपको स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टर बनना है. आपने 100 रुपया कमाया, उसमें से 80 रुपया बिजनेस में वापस डाला, 20 रुपया निकाला और वो आउटसाइड बिजनेस में आपने इन्वेस्ट किया. ऐसा रेगुलरली आप करते रहते हैं. पहले 20 रुपया कमाया, उसका रिटर्न मिलता है, फिर दूसरा 20 रुपया ऐड किया, उसका भी रिटर्न मिलता है. तो ये एक जर्नी चालू होती है कि जिसके अंदर आप पैसे कमाते हैं, उसमें से बिजनेस में री इन्वेस्ट करते हैं और साथ में आउटसाइड बिजनेस में भी इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. और ये आउटसाइड बिजनेस का जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है उसका एक आपको डेफिनेट रिटर्न मिलने का चालू हो जाएगा. वो रिटर्न बढ़ता जाएगा और वो रिटर्न आपका पैसिव इनकम होगा, वो रिटर्न आपका एक्स्ट्रा इनकम होगा. उसके लिए न तो आपको ज़्यादा टाइम देना है, न तो ज़्यादा अटेंशन देना है, और धीरे धीरे करके ये आउटसाइड द बिजनेस पोर्टफोलियो इतना अच्छा हो जाता है कि इसमें से एक आपकी वेल्थ क्रिएट होती है। तो ये जो एक प्रोसेस है कि जिसके अंदर आपको जो पैसे कमाते हैं, वो पैसे कमाने का एक भाग आप रेगुलरली इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। मैं जो पोर्टफोलियो बोल रहा हूँ वो सिर्फ इक्विटी की बात नहीं है, इसमें सब एसेट क्लासेस आ जाते हैं, लेकिन जो आउटसाइड बिजनेस आप पोर्टफोलियो क्रिएट करते हैं उसका एक बड़ा एडवांटेज लॉन्ग टर्म में आपको मिलता है।
थैंक यू हेमंत जी। हिरेन भाई, आप being CA that you come across that many clients and those who have created a wealth over the period of time. So can you give some example of the wealth creation and also enlighten us about that? What is the difference between the wealth creation and wealth preservation?
Uh, well, I deal with number of clients from varied sectors, myriad sectors, like right from industrialists to those who are into services to businesses and everything. But when it comes to pure equity investors who have created wealth, I'm just taking cue from what Hemant Bhai just stated about, culling out some amount from your business, putting into equity. So I give example of one of my clients. Of course, for obvious reasons, I can't narrate their names. But there are two brothers, A and B. They were into business since 1999. About 10 years back, one brother A, decided, I will walk out of the business, because he started realizing that we are generating money, but money is not generating further money. So 10 years back, he moves out, walks away from the business, asks the B that you generate the money from the business, you give it to me, I put into the equities. And that's how the entire thing started. So when he started putting money, he lost money, he gained money. But then over a period, he learned the art of investing to an extent that he did formal course to understand how wealth could be created. Now, I just put this into numbers, so you will understand the perspective. So my client has been generating about 5 crore rupees every year. So after tax, about 3.5 to 4 crore rupees a year. Now, that brother B remained in the business, he went into the equity, started creating wealth. Today the situation is that one who was in business continues to make 5 crore. The one who went and started investing on regular basis is probably adding 30 crore rupees to the wealth every year. So I'm just giving an example, and today their wealth is over 150 crore just into equity investments. And another lesson I tell you, how these guys do, in last 10 years, there have been probably 2 dips. In the dips, I think they will simply aggressively invest. And that has further compounded the wealth. I'm just giving a very live example. There's one more example. Just let me know how much time I has. I give one other example of my client who have been destructor of wealth also. So there is a client of ours whose grandfather back in 70s created some massive portfolio of equity. That portfolio remained very good during 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Now grandson felt that, well, this portfolio is created, but my grandfather was foolish actually not to play with it. And he started playing with futures and options with that portfolio. And in less than few years, 3 years, I think 80% of the wealth was wiped out. I'm just giving an example, about the certain qualities that Siddharth Bhai also mentioned about optimism, about patience. And I think the third quality I would say for creating wealth is, high savings rate. If you have these 3 qualities, high savings rate, optimism, and of course, the patience, I think you are the winner.
Thank you so much.
You want me to address on preservation or?
Yeah, if you can. Yeah.
Adding to what Hiren Bhai just said, you are all successful businessmen, successful entrepreneurs. Gradually, you should also become a successful investors. And in long run, you can become a full-fledged investor depending only on investment, enjoying life and reap fruits of your investment.
सो हेमंत भाई, इन्वेस्टर तो बनना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन वेल्थ क्रिएशन करना सबके बस की बात हो सकती है क्या?
Wealth creation is a long-term process. It is a continuous process. तो वेल्थ क्रिएट कैसे होती है, चलो एक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. अगर आप सेंसेक्स की बात करें तो 1980 के अंदर सेंसेक्स था 100. When it was introduced in 1979, the value of Sensex was 100. Today is 66,000. Suppose in 1980, someone had a salary of rupees 1,000. And he would have saved 10% out of his salary of 1,000. So he would have saved 100 rupees. So value of that 100 rupees is 66,000 today. He would have continued for all these months, 10% saving every month, all this, how many years, 23 plus 20, 43 years. And that would have compounded. What would have been the value? Of course, I am not good at statistics, so I will have to take some help. But the figure that would have come would be rupees in crores. If you can save 10%, and invest regularly, then how much you can get over a longer period of time. One more example. One gentleman from Sachin, he was working in Western India Oil Products Limited at Amalner. His boss had given him some shares. He had retained those shares. His grandparents are enjoying the fruit of all those shares. वो तो 7 पुश्तों तक चलने वाली है, वो जो पैसे हैं वो 7 generations तक चलने वाले हैं, क्योंकि grandfather of that person was working in now company called Wipro. The 3 brothers have portfolio of rupees more than 500 crores. And this is again an example of wealth creation by investing a small amount. If you would have invested rupees 10,000 in Wipro shares in 1947, the value of that is more than 1,000 crores. So there are a number of examples where small money put over a longer period of time consistently has grown into a very big value.
Wow. So you mean to say that power of compounding works over the period of time. So I have another question. So we are the group of investors, and now ready that we understand the process of the wealth creation. The people talk about the FOMO, that fear of moving out. There is also a term called fear of getting in. In this environment of when the market is all-time high, Israel-Hamas war is going on, inflation, oil prices are going up. So how the wealth to be created so far as this environment is concerned?
Our fund manager, Siddharth, has commented this time and again that do not try to time the market, give time to the market. And this he amply demonstrated in the presentation on Titan. So I don't need to add more.
Great. So
we should continue investing like a SIP, and that will create the ultimate value.
So do you have to say something?
On the time and power
Yeah.
well, time is relative. Let's by definition. So I think time and only time can generate wealth and nothing else. And you know what Sanjay Bhai just stated about, you always come across events like a COVID or events like a financial crisis. And for that, you need to take examples of the people who have been preserving wealth for 100 years or even more than that. How do they do that? They interface these kind of crises. So key thing is the time. So it's like growing a tree. So एक झाड़ वावવાનું હોય ને તો કેવું છે કે 1 વર્ષમાં તમને બહુ ફરક ના લાગે, 10 ફરકમાં તમને મિનિંગફુલ ડિફરન્સ લાગે, 30, 40 કે 50 વર્ષે એક્સ્ટ્રા ઓર્ડિનરી ડિફરન્સ લાગે. તો આ ઝાડ કઈ રીતે ઉગે એના પર છે. સો દેટ ઇઝ ધ power of compounding.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we make our session very crisp, and I would like to add that one more feature of this session is the rapid fire questions. I have given both the panelists with a yes or no, and we are going to ask some questions. You will also enjoy it, and sometimes I also would like to, if you would like to participate, and if your answer is yes, raise your hand, and the rest of say that no, that we can understand. So here we go around. Are you ready? So your first question is that, do you know anyone who has not made losses in wealth creation? So you know that, anyone? Okay. How about you? Okay. So second question is that, do you think wealth can be made easily? Do you think wealth can be made easily? Yes or no? Yes and no both. Okay. Third question. Do you buy equity in this situation of Israel-Hamas war? Wow, both are ready to buy. Can you time the market? Can you time the market? I think both said no. Do you place 80%, more than 80% investment in equity? Are you ready for that? Yes. Can you please explain why no and why yes?
I think in my personal view that your portfolio should be more diversified. Yes, equity should be equity heavy, but real estate, gold, other classes should be part of your basket, and that is essential. So when you look at real life examples of people who have sustained wealth over one generation to second generation to third generation, it's not on pure equities. It's equities plus real estate.
So why you said yes?
See, as such, we always advise our clients to invest in all asset class and make a proper asset allocation. But in my personal case, I have reaped great benefits out of equities. So that's why I have greater conviction.
So let's move ahead. Do you have any multi-bagger in your portfolio?
Yes, many.
Raise the card. Yes or
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. Next question. Do you think Bharat has reached a stage where we can do well for the decades? Both said yes. Okay, we are bullish. Do you think Indian market will flourish in Amritkal? Both said yes. Wow, good. And last two questions. So, is your wife happy at your happy with you with a continued paper investment only? Your wife is not happy. Your wife is happy. Varsha Bhabhi, you have to answer to this. Can you answer about that? Why? Only paper investment?
My wife has seen benefits of equity investing. His father was the great investor. So she is convinced. I don't need to convince her more.
Okay. So next question, one or two last. Are you tempted to track your main investment scripts every working day? रोज सुबह को देखना जरूरी है? You have to see every day that what is the valuation of your portfolio. You mean to say?
I have to see because I am keeping a track of my clients' money. So I have to see.
Okay.
Because we are supposed to monitor all the fund management plans very, very closely. That's why I have to look. If I am just an investor, then I don't need to.
Okay. So with this note, I think that it was a crisp session, and we have tried our best to convey that the crisp gist about that wealth creation and preservation. Thank you. Thank you both.
Just one moment. In fact, we had tried to make this session very, very long and very, very interactive. How to create wealth well and how to preserve wealth well. Both these aspects require lot of understanding and lot of debating. But because of some time constraints, we have kept it small. Finally, I would like to request Hirenbhai Vepari to say a few words because he is our chief guest of this morning and afternoon. And he has been our privileged chief guest. His father and he has been our privileged chief guest on all these 14 episodes of Creation of Wealth. So please give your remarks and comments. Thank you.
Well, for this function, I'm chief guest. Otherwise, Concept and Vepari are family, firstly. And I'm more than grateful to Hemant Bhai and the entire Concept team that this PMS came to be inaugurated by my father. He has always been chief guest till 2017 until he was surviving. And I'm thankful to him for continuing the tradition by giving me the privilege to be the chief guest in their signature function. All my best wishes to Concept, all my best wishes to all of you. Thank you so much.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.